Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike. That's Jay.
I'm Jay. How you doing?
Tiny delay here. We're here with the two dudes from The Thing with Two Heads. And we got Sean, we got Chris, who you guys have seen on the channel before. Chris Tuffer, as he likes to be called. He gets really mad when you call him Chris. You don't really give a shit, I know.
Well, he actually kind of does, but I just don't respect it, I guess. I don't know. It's just too much words, too many letters.
You take it out on people after the video's over. You're like, they called me fucking Chris again. You just start breaking shit.
Never happened once. Never.
Chris, as I like to call him around my house, is Academy Award-winning Christopher Nelson. That's how I speak about you to my wife. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. Academy Award-winning Christopher Nelson's calling me on the phone. It's no big deal. And I'll just go get on the phone. Sean Clark here, the host of Horror's Hallowed Grounds, and both the hosts of the new-ish YouTube channel, not YouTube channel, but YouTube show on Sean's channel. The Thing with Two Heads. They've talked to already early in the early going. They've talked to Nick Castle. They've talked to James Jude Courtney. They have an awesome show. So if you haven't heard of it, first things first, definitely go. We'll put the link down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to them because I've been watching it and I barely watch any YouTube. It's amazing. But how are you guys doing? Thank you for being here.
Great.
Thank you for having us. We're doing great. I know I'm doing great. I don't know about Sean, but I'm all right.
I want to be referred to as Academy Award watching Sean Clark.
How you doing, Academy Award winning Sean Clark? I like it. I'll go with it.
I've seen many episodes of the Academy Awards.
We're good. Thank you guys for having us. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely.
And it's so cool to be here and hanging out. You guys, the audience out there, our friends, you guys missed a whole rambling nonsense, a good 30 minutes of nonsense that you'll never hear.
Yeah.
It'll probably be better than what we record right now.
I know, right?
I was thinking the same thing, too, while we were doing it. I'm like, man, this is golden shit, and no one will know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they do on like Joe Rogan and shit, right? Like the podcast just starts and they're already mid-conversation. I think he just hits record on them randomly. First off, I know that most people here know who you guys are, obviously. And, we'll get to just hanging out and stuff. But just in case they don't, if you guys want to take the floor, talk about what your show's all about, how you guys got started, what your fucking deal is, basically. That sounded mean, didn't it? Like, what's your fucking deal, guys?
Yeah, dude. You sound like fucking Joe Pesci in The Good. What's the fucking deal?
That's what I should have done when I pressed record. Like, hey guys, so what's your fucking problem? Just like back up.
I kind of like that though. It's something that I miss about. I grew up on the East Coast till I was about 15, and by that time it's ingrained in you. There's an East Coast thing and a West Coast thing. There's a fake politeness to the West Coast thing. East Coast thing is like, that's what they do. They walk up to you, what the fuck's your deal, man? Like, and it's meant with the greatest intentions. So I can appreciate that. So anyway,
in the South, it's weird. We do a little bit of both.
Yeah, the South is weird.
It really is.
We're nice to your face, but then we quietly judge you while you're speaking.
You say something like,
you don't quietly do it. You do it with. It's right there in the face.
Yeah, it really is. They'll say, you bless your face or bless your heart. He just don't know that he's stupid. Bless his heart. It's like you just basically insulted me, but you said, bless his heart. So I guess it's okay. You get a combo of both in there.
Sean and I have been friends for a while now, and move in the same circles within the horror genre and the convention genre and the movie genre and the all this stuff. And so we've always crossed paths throughout the years and never really got to know each other until I think we started
2 years ago.
Yeah, a couple years
Close.
ago, three, something like that, a few years ago that Sean invited me to some conventions, and we were there and got on really well. We just were like instant friends and had so much in common and same sense of humor for the most part. And we just got along well. And so we just developed a relationship. And, when the beginning of the pandemic started, everybody was sitting around going, fuck do I do now? Like, what do I do? Like you can only clean your house or have so many hobbies or, watch so many movies. And so I think, Sean and I were going back and forth about various things. And it just hit me one day. I was like, why don't it would be great for him and I to do a show on YouTube, just talking about horror, talking about whatever, talking about music, talking about, you know, all the things that we have in common and that we're passionate about. And so I believe I texted him and said, hey man, we should do a show, because I'm a big fan of watching YouTube and people's shows and fans, and seeing fans' reactions and seeing the passion from fans about movies that I work on, or that movies that I like, or whatever. So I was like, that looks like a lot of fun, and something, you know, that would be healthy and cool to do. So I texted Sean, and he responded, fuck you. I don't have anything to do with you.
Let's tell him the truth now. I had my people get back to him.
He did. And then, I waited about 2 weeks, and finally one of his secretaries got back to me and said, and you are. Yeah. And so anyway, we connected, and we were like, all right, let's give it a shot. And then then we had to, one of the first things
learn stuff.
We had to learn stuff. And Mike, you know, because I was texting Mike going, how the fuck you do YouTube? Like, I don't know. I can make that stupid thing. Yeah. I can make that dumb thing, but I don't know how to work a YouTube.
Yeah. How do YouTube?
I like to call it.
It sounds like that Cobra Kai thing. It's like, yeah, I just signed up on something called the Facebook. What is that?
Yeah, that's totally the way I was. I was like, how do you work the YouTube, or a YouTube? So I started learning stuff, and then the next thing was, what are we gonna call it? Like Sean was like, we got to come up with a really great name. Like, I'll let Sean tell the story about all the names, but
I don't even know if I can remember some of the names, but we went back and forth like probably a fucking 100 names. And one of the ones Chris tossed out was the thing with two heads. And I was kind of like, I kind of like that. Let's keep trying though. But I kept coming back to that name. Like, you know what? I like the fact that it doesn't really put us in a box, but it does sound genre-ish. Mm-hmm. So I think we literally shot the first episode and we're ready to put it up, and we're like, we got to call it something, because when we did the first episode, if you notice, we never say the name because we didn't know the name yet when we did the first episode. And then my chick had a graphic design background, and she whipped up that logo in like 15 minutes, and I was like, that rocks. Boom, done. You know,
it's a great logo, man.
It looks really cool. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was super stoked with it. And so that's, and we said, you know, we'll try it. We'll do it a couple times and see if it clicks, see if it works, see, you know.
Anybody watches.
If anybody watches it, because I honestly didn't think anybody would. Still people don't. But anyway. Well,
nobody ever does it first, man. No matter who you are, what you do. I mean, if you're Will Smith, obviously. But, you know, like at first, nobody ever watches. And then it's just...
I had a little bit of an advantage because I had already started building my channel up, putting up all my old content, all my Horrors Hall Ground stuff. So it was building pretty quickly. And then when we started this, I think I had already had like 5,000 subscribers. So I was like, you know, we already have sort of an audience, and it kind of took off quick. And I think, you know, because let's face it, we're not reinventing the wheel by any means. We're doing exactly what you guys are doing. Yeah. But I think
we're ripping you off.
yeah. I mean, that's what Chris called me and said, have you seen like these guys, if they can do it? So, and then
that's the fucking truth.
And I was like, bro, I don't want to do this. Then I watched your show and I was like, oh yeah, we can do better than that.
For sure.
So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in. But no, I was just like, I think what I've been getting as far as the fan response that we've been getting that never crossed my mind when we decided to start doing this was what people seem to dig is they're getting a perspective of two guys that are in the industry, in this world, and they're getting a little different perspective. Yes, Chris and I are both fans. We're fans, you know. You don't get into this business unless you're a fan. But we're also kind of, you know, we're in the mix. We know, I mean, all these guys that have been our guests are friends. So it's like, obviously we have a leg up, and people kind of dig that different perspective, I guess. So it's working so far.
I think so. But I mean, it's a tough thing because you don't know. I think the biggest thing, and you guys can attest to this, I'm sure, is that you're the response that we respond to is when people make comments and they're positive and they're saying they like what you do and they keep doing what you're doing, or there's that positive reinforcement from the few people that are watching it, and that's all that really matters. It's not about anything else other than if someone's digging it. When someone sends you, hey man, your show really got me through a really tough week and I'm having a hard time, but I really look forward to your every week and it helps me out and I listen to it and it makes me happy. That's it. That's the whole point, right? I mean, why else do it?
100%.
And it's been surprising to me how many of those we've gotten. I mean, like literally, like legitimately people saying, like, I was going through a deep depression and you guys helped me get out of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, man.
Blew my mind.
It's overwhelming. When you first start getting those things, it's overwhelming when you read them. You're like, holy shit. Like, because, you're doing your thing. You're not thinking about anything like that. And then you get these kind of messages or comments or stuff. And you're like, shit, I didn't think it was going to, have any kind of impact on somebody's life positively. My thing is also, the positive comments are great. But when you get the negative ones, like I always wind up, I fucking zero in and tunnel in on that shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I saw this comment, like, just today. We uploaded a video, and it said, lol, Jay is such a pussy. Love you guys. Like, how can you get mad? How can you get mad? Because you're like, well, I'm a pussy, but, I love you guys. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll let it slide, but it's weird. But absolutely, man, the positive feedback of the comments that you get is really, it makes it worth it, all of it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't want people out there to get the wrong idea that we're sitting here being self-important or self-righteous in any way. That's not the point. No. The point is that we're in the same boat. We're all in the same thing, man. And this was our way of dealing with everything that's been going on. At least for us, I don't know if we'd have been doing the show if the pandemic didn't hit. I don't know. Maybe we would have, Sean, but
no, I don't. No, we wouldn't have, because I know I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have time to figure it out.
We neither of us have a lot of time. We're always traveling, or we're always doing this and that, and so it was a way to sit and get grounded and get back in touch with stuff. So again, it's not a self-important thing. It's just a this brings us joy, and if it brings you joy, then that's the icing, man. So,
exactly. The power to just, like, if somebody's having a hard day and like they just turn on what you're doing and they're interested in it and they're enjoying it and it gets them through 2 hours of what otherwise would have been anxiety fueled awfulness, then that really matters to people and it resonates. And when you're telling the truth, when you're being an honest person and you're not trying to be whatever and you're just being honest and you're not trying to shield people and get stuff out of them, then I think that's where those two things connect. I was actually going to ask you, though, one of the questions I had to ask you guys about was, last time we talked to you, Chris, we talked a lot about how you got, started and what do you think it was that got you really going? And I think we landed on, you just said yes to shit, right? Like you just whatever job came up, you did it because you loved your work and you loved waking up and doing it. So you did it and you kept working and working and working. And eventually you got to where you wanted to be. And I thought that was my favorite part of talking to you, by the way. But I think that for you guys, that's what I was going to ask. I'm assuming, but I'm pretty sure I'm right, that you guys both do what you love for a living. Like, that's where you've landed. You both love what you do for a living, and you wake up and you do your passion in the morning till you go to bed at night, and you're happy doing what you're doing. And I was going to ask you guys if you think that because of the pandemic, where Chris, you wake up and you don't have a movie set to go to because you can't because COVID, and Sean, you wake up and you're probably used to running around all over the place, pleasing people and doing this and that with your convention all-stars, settling up all that stuff, and there's no conventions. Do you guys think, and you kind of already answered this, but do you guys think your need to do what you love in the morning when you wake up was kind of taken away from you? You guys kind of found that in this, and now you get to do it again.
That's a great question. I have so many thoughts on everything you just said.
Sorry, it was a long one.
No, it's a good one. It's pretty rare that you get asked a decent question. Yes, I think yes. It was a way to connect to our world when we were disconnected from it, not by choice. I think it's definitely a way to connect. I think that was one of the reasons why I texted Sean in the first place, and we were like, we're both sitting here, we both love what we do, we both love this world. How can we get back into it, you know, and still do it. And I think that was one of the main reasons. I think on our show, I think we addressed it on the last one we just recorded. Someone said, what was your dream job when you were a kid or when you were young, right, Sean, or something? And so mine was this. I mean, it was either this or a rock star. So, but it was this. What I do for a living was my dream job. And going back to what you said about, you know, doing it, opportunities are in front of you all the time. You're faced with opportunities every day. It's up to you to see them and to take them. And the only thing that keeps people from taking opportunity is fear. It's fear of, oh shit, I might go broke, or oh shit, I might fail, or oh shit, or this, or oh shit, that. Now, mind you, not everybody can have their dream job, and not everybody is faced with opportunity to do your dream job. My point is you're still faced with opportunity to make your life better every day. And I'm not trying to be all the secret here or any of that.
No, I'm with you.
It's true.
I get you, man.
It's just true. You're faced with opportunity all the time to make yourself happier, to make someone else happy. And it's up to you to keep your eyes open and go, you know what, I'm not going to say no to that. I'll be uncomfortable for a day or an hour or a minute, or whatever that. I'll be uncomfortable for a second to see what comes out of that, you know, and you'd be surprised. You'll be surprised how a decision that you make today in 1 second because you decided to take advantage of an opportunity that might not necessarily pay off right away, you'd be surprised how it pays off. Like, you'd be so weird in like 2 weeks or a year. You're like, holy shit, if I hadn't have done that a year ago, I wouldn't be where this wouldn't be happening. You just have to be awake, and you have to not have any fear, and you just got to be into it, man. You know. So, sorry, I got off topic, but anyway.
No, that's dead on topic, man.
I can trace back every decision I made that put me where I'm at right this moment. I mean, it's crazy all the things that had to have fallen in line for me to get here to what I do for a living. I mean, being I guess I'm a personal appearance agent is what you call me. I never aspired to do that. I mean, that was never my dream. My dream job was to be a musician. I pursued that. I did a few bands. I had a few albums, came real close. But eventually I had to, give that up. And this was just a passion I was doing, that doors kept opening and opportunities kept happening. And as far as what we're doing with your original question, Chris asked me probably at the exact perfect time, because I had just, I was bored and I'd wanted to do my YouTube channel for years. I think I started the damn thing, 6 years ago, never did anything with it. So I just started learning how to upload all my shit and stuff that wasn't finished, at learning how to edit and stuff. So I was just learning all that stuff when Chris said, hey, we should do this. And I was like, wow, yeah, you can't get no better timing than this. So there we are.
Absolutely.
And you guys, you know what, I put the question back to you guys. You guys are a testament to that. I mean, look, I've been following you for a long time back in the day, and look at you now. You got fucking sponsors. You have sponsors and shit, right?
We got Manscaped.
That's crazy. But seriously, it's like you guys, you saw an opportunity, you took it, you rolled with it, you stuck with it, you were consistent, you kept doing it. You obviously love it. It shows every time you watch one of your videos. It shows that you're into what you do and you love it. It shows that you love fans and friends. I like to call them friends. I don't like to call them fans.
We're the exact
same. Yeah.
And it's like you guys, it shows, and look, it's built so much. You guys should be very proud of yourselves.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's
all right.
That's
Fuck
really
you.
Nice. It's just because I told you had awesome hair earlier before this started.
It's true. You guys should be super proud.
I appreciate that. That's why I find it so fascinating. Like I talked to you about when you were on here last time, and then I find what you do too, Sean, fascinating, because you didn't really have a direct path, like you said. You're kind of all over the place, but you just keep doing shit. You know,
Yeah.
you just keep doing shit. I saw you years ago on a random Halloween DVD, and it was on the special features. Of course, you had Horror's Hallowed Grounds was on some of the special features, I think, to the Halloween box set as well.
Yeah, I did.
But
I did almost all the special features in that box set.
yeah, you were all over that bitch. And then the Jamie Lee Curtis thing, which me and Jay both saw, the thing you did with Jamie Lee Curtis when she went to the
Horror Hound.
Was that weird, by the way? Like that for me watching that, I was thinking that's got to be the weirdest thing ever, because it's like she's there, you know, she isn't used to this at all. She seemed very uncomfortable with it. She was still game for it. Like she's like, I'm doing it this one time. This is the one time I'm giving you, and I'm here. But she was also, you could tell, super kind of awkwarded out in a way by the whole thing, or maybe blown away by the whole thing. Did you feel super uncomfortable that whole time because of that?
No, I mean, I was stressed because it was so important to me to not let her down, to do a good job, because she was putting a lot of trust in me, and she didn't know me. And I mean, and she, you know, she put the pressure on. I mean, she said to me, we had a real intense conversation one night. I'm not going to get into the details, but this is on the phone, you know, before the convention. And she went into this long story about how she's a particular type A personality, and she doesn't let anybody do anything for her. And she always has to be in control of everything. And she doesn't ever let people do stuff. And she said, so I'm trusting you to take care of this. So whatever you do, don't fuck this up.
No pressure,
I'm
though.
scared.
Yeah.
I'm not even there, and I'm scared right now.
Yeah, I was getting that, like the fringe effects. I was like, holy shit. I promise you I won't. I'll do my best. I promise. Okay, don't worry.
Yeah, so that was, you know, there was that pressure. And then she contacted me literally the day before I was leaving to Indianapolis to go to the convention. She contacts me and said, oh, hey, my sister and my brother-in-law want to follow us around for the weekend and film us to make, like, they're amateur documentary makers. And I'm like, she's all, is that okay? You know, is the convention okay with that? And I'm like, of course they're going to be okay with that. You know, if anything ever happens with it, it's free publicity. And you're Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. So I've got a camera on me all the time, which also added a little pressure. But I never thought in a million years anything would be done with that footage. I never expected anything to be done with it. And I think it was probably 3 months after the convention, John, her brother-in-law, says, give me your mailing address. I want to send you a rough cut of the doc. And he sends it to me, and I'm like blown away by it. I'm like, wow, this is good, you know? And I think I have like 6 different versions of that documentary. He kept sending me different versions, and I was doing special features for the Halloween release, and Malik had, you know, I was working with Malik, and I said, you know what, man? I said, Jamie's sister and brother-in-law did this doc, and it's basically a love letter to the Halloween fans. It's her going to the first convention ever, and it's literally just a love letter to the Halloween fans. I think this would be an amazing special feature. So I sent it to him, and he agreed. He was like, dude, this is amazing. Next thing I know, it's coming out officially on the Blu-ray. Yeah, it was nuts.
It stuck out, man. Like I watched that and I was like, holy shit. Like it was like some reality TV shit, because you know how she is, you know, I mean, she's like, she said herself, type A personality. Like I wouldn't want to let her down. I wouldn't want to piss her off. I'm sure Chris, you probably dealt with that too with working with her, but
oh God, she's, I was just, when Sean was telling that story, I was like, she does her own blood dressing. She won't let anybody do it. She won't even let me do it. You have to bring, you have to bring a bucket. She would always yell for me. She goes, Chris, bucket of blood. Where's my bucket? And you have to have a big, like, Home Depot fucking 5-gallon. Should I not be swearing? Can you guys?
Yeah,
it's us.
Yeah,
right,
all
Dick's,
good.
Dick's ass poop.
Yeah, whatever. You're still in there.
I like that you ended with poop.
I know. But she would always, bring, you know, I'd have to have a 5-gallon bucket of blood ready at all times. It was Jamie's bucket. And so when there was time, you know, you bring the bucket, and she would do it herself. She'd take the blood out of the bucket and fucking put it on. She does it all herself because, like Sean said, she has a very specific, she has a vision for everything that she does. You know,
Right.
Yeah, she's absolutely intense for sure. I felt for both of you in those situations. Not that I'm not saying it's a terribly bad thing, but
oh no, she's amazing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's actually pretty cool. Like, you know, this big time, you know, A-list celebrity actress, like, you know, and she's a, you know, amazing actress. She's done so many movies that she still has this callback to horror and the Halloween, that she was so into it. And she tells Sean, "Don't fuck this up. Like, this is really important to me. Don't fuck this up." And it's like, that's cool, man. Like, that's actually cool. And it's cool, like, even on set, she was like, "I want to do, you know, my own thing. You know, I want to put the blood on the way that I want to put the blood on. I want to be involved. I want to, like, get in there. I want to be a part of the action." I think that's really cool, though.
There's one thing you could say about that woman. She cares about everything. She truly, the definition of cares. That woman cares. Yeah.
Right. And the fact that she gave 100% of what she made that weekend at the convention to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. I mean, I didn't take a percentage either. My 10% was also donated. We raised $183,000 for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
God dang, good on you all for that.
Awesome,
I didn't know
Congratulations.
that.
That's awesome.
Especially when that was early on. Like, that's especially for Jamie Lee Curtis to do it, it's amazing too. But for you to do that, that's even, you know. Seriously,
people don't believe it. Sean has a heart. He might not like. He doesn't want people to know that. He doesn't, but he does.
That's amazing.
I want people to know.
You mentioned working with Akkad. Their family interests me so much. You know, from him with his dad, obviously the heart and soul of everything that's gone on here. Can you guys both talk about what it was like if you've both had experiences with them?
I've never had an experience with Malik's father, Mustafa. But Malik, I've had. We're friends. I could safely say we're friends, and we text each other. And I only say that because he's a super cool guy and grounded. And here's another guy that is very hyper aware of the legacy that his father created and the Halloween family and world. And it's like I said, when I first got involved in Halloween in 2017, you know, I had to be vetted by Malik. I had to talk to Malik and have a meeting with him about, you know, to get that job, along with, you know, the other powers that be. But, you know, Malik was one that I was very aware of the fact that, you know, I was being vetted, so to speak. And I just spoke with my heart, and Malik does the same thing. He's got a lot of conviction, and he's passionate about it. And I like Malik a lot, and he strives to he protects that legacy. He protects it a lot, and as well he should, you know. And he wants the best for it, and so I think he made good decision getting the people involved that are involved with it now. I like Malik. I think he's a good guy. I'm curious. I'm very curious to see. It just brings up in my head. I'm curious to see where it goes after we're done with it. After Halloween ends, I'm very curious to see where it goes after that. I would like to be involved with it after that. I'm not gonna. I'm lucky to be where I'm at now, so I'm not gonna. You know, but I'm curious to see where it goes with that. I'm curious to see where he takes it. And you know, so
I would love to see you involved with it. That would be amazing. Yeah.
I am also good friends with Malik. I've worked with him a lot. I mean, and I've never, you know, made any bones about this. Without the Halloween franchise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys. The Halloween franchise opened every door that has led to where I'm at today in one way or another was because of that film franchise. And Malik I owe him a huge amount of gratitude and debt because he's given me lots of great opportunities over the years. And I was fortunate enough to have worked with Mustafa a couple times. When we did the 25th anniversary convention back in 2003, we had him as a guest, and I also went to his office when we interviewed him for the 25 Years of Terror documentary. So I had several experiences with him. He's just a sweet, just giant, like, sweet guy. And he loved Halloween, man. I mean, he just loved, he said, I love this Michael Myers. I mean, and I remember I made him, the first time I went to Trancas's office, when they used to be down in like the Wilshire district, they were in a high rise. And I went into Mustafa's office, and he had a couple crappy masks in there. And I'm like, man, you need some better masks. I actually ended up making him a couple for his office, because at the time I was a mask maker and had this company called Silver Champagne Novelties, which was basically all Halloween masks. So anyway, yeah, sweet guy. And it was such a tragedy, him and his daughter. I actually went to the service. Just a sweet guy. And, I'm sure he would be so proud of what Malik has done with it,
Yeah, for sure.
And Mustafa Akkad was the guy that put in a or I don't know if it was like a specific thing that you could not kill Michael Myers no matter what you did. Like, it doesn't matter. You can torch the fucker. You can blow him up with dynamite. You can shoot him in his face and his genitals with acid. He doesn't die. And it was him, right? Like, that was the guy. Like, that was and that's amazing. And like you said, like, he was like, I love this, Michael Myers. Like, that's amazing that he made sure that was protected no matter what moving forward, because he was so in love with the franchise and what John Carpenter had created. That's amazing.
And that's a good point you brought up, Jay, because I think people tend to forget that about this franchise and about Halloween and Michael Myers. Is like, yes, I know you can sit there and go, oh my God, he survived this, and oh my God, he survived that, and oh my God, this movie went this way and this movie went that way. And it goes back to what I was saying back when 2018 came out and I was doing some press for it. I was like, but can't you just stop crapping on stuff and be happy that a Halloween movie came out? Like, let the guy live forever. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's better than most stuff when it comes to this shit. Like, look,
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I get that mentality, but it's like, it's Halloween, man. The name is Halloween. It'll always be here. It'll always be around. We'll always love it. We'll always celebrate it. Let's just do the best we can and enjoy it and sit back, shut up, and eat your popcorn.
There you go.
They're still
that should pop up on the screen right before the movie.
Shut the fuck up and eat your popcorn and watch this Halloween movie. But like you said, they're still making Frankenstein movies. And what you mentioned about when they go on further past Halloween Ends, because obviously the idea was, they're going to kill Michael Myers at Halloween's. And it's like, I mean, to me, Michael Myers is like James Bond. You just bring in a different vision for him and you can put him anywhere. You could do anything with it as long as you have something original and something cool. And I've always just, I don't know, that's why I asked that question, is because like over the years, just like listening to people talk, when you go back to Halloween 6 and Daniel Farron's, the fact that they had a fan write the script basically at one point, but everybody has this story, just like you did, Chris, about going into Akkad's office at some point. And it's like, it's gotta be, I just picture this gigantic, me and Jay have talked about it before, like this just gigantic desk and just like this dude smoking a cigar and just like leaning over you and being like, fuck,
it's nothing like, it's absolutely nothing like that. Right, Sean? It's like, nope.
Well, Mustafa's office and desk was very small. Malik's office and desk is quite an upgrade from back in the day.
What I think was interesting is I did watch the Halloween Grounds episode with Halloween 6 when you went on set in your location and you were talking with one of the special effects guys. The guy that actually stood in for Michael Myers a few
Brad
times.
Harden.
Brad Harden, yes. And you brought it up to him that there was some kind of situation going on where the producer's cut and then the regular cut, and he had no idea. They were shooting those, and it was just interesting. Like that was going on behind the scenes, but nobody knew like that was actually occurring. It was really cool. Like, it's just an interesting little side note. It's like Akkad was like so in love with that, but he made sure that everybody that was working on that particular movie, I guess, wasn't uncomfortable or didn't have any kind of issue going on while they were making it. It was just really interesting because he was like, well, that's news to me. I didn't know that. Like, holy shit, like that happened. Like, you could just see the surprise on his face. Like, I didn't know. But it's really cool. You really got to appreciate and respect a guy like that, like Mustafa and Malik, for continuing on the tradition of Halloween and Michael Myers. It's really awesome.
Mm-hmm. Why not, man? If people are still going and they're still watching and they're still paying the money, why? I
Right
would.
on. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I don't want it to ever end, man. I'm in the camp like even if they put out a big just stinker. I mean, and if it's just freaking awful. I mean, we survived Rob Zombie's H2. Depending on how you feel about that, we survived that. We survived Halloween Resurrection, and like to me, even if it gets a little fucked up along the way, it just adds to like the character of the franchise. I think it's fun that you can go back to Halloween and be like, there's 7 timelines and everything's kind of fucked up and everything's weird, and that there's all these stories about Dimension fighting with Trancus or the Akkads or whatever. I think it's fascinating. It makes the most interesting.
Look at fucking, not to compare it. It's nothing in compared to size, but look at Star Wars. Look what Star Wars has become. Look at the universe that's become. I'm not saying that Halloween can, but I'm saying, you could do that. There's an opportunity there. Again, going back to opportunities, there's opportunities to take that universe to so many different directions. And here's on that note, think about it. People crap on Halloween 3, man. John Carpenter had the idea back in the day to take that universe into a different direction, to go, okay, we're going to do a Halloween themed movie that's not going to be about Michael Myers, but it's going to be Halloween. It's going to go in this direction. That was, I think as far as the horror world goes, what Marvel and Star Wars have done, no one's done with horror yet. And I think it needs to be done, and it can be done. And I think Halloween's a good example of that. And I think there are a few franchises. I mean, there's a lot of ways, or a new one, but the horror genre, it's screaming to have a universe made.
Man, that's awesome. I was actually going to ask you or Sean. You both can answer. It's no big deal. Either one. What do you guys think? Would you guys want a shared universe type of reality? Kind of what they've done with Marvel in some ways, or DC, or would you rather keep them separate, or like I know that Universal's having, at least they're attempting to do a shared universe with their Universal monsters, the Mummy, Dracula, Wolfman, all those guys. If the universe if they ever decided, or I know there's different companies that own the rights to several characters, but if they ever decided or somehow got together to make a shared universe with a Jason and a Michael. I mean, we know that Freddy exists in that. Would you want it, or you think that's too much?
Sean, what do you think?
I don't care. It's like Freddy versus Jason was a fun movie. But they can do whatever they want. It's not going to really taint anything. But when it comes to Halloween, I will say I wouldn't want that to happen with Halloween, because
no crossover.
Unlike Freddy and Jason, and I've said this before, the one thing I like about Michael Myers is Michael Myers has never become silly. He's never, there's been some silly things in movies. There's a little comedic moments. I'm talking Michael the character, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah. Michael the character has always been, he's not doing fucking one-liners and shit, He's not looking to the camera
You're right. Yeah. Yes.
I mean,
he hasn't started, Michael Myers hasn't started selling Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You're right.
Michael Myers has always stayed, think about it. Jason, Jason doesn't speak. Jason's been goofy. They've been done goofy things with. Jason X is a fucking straight up comedy.
It really is.
Yeah, Friday 13th Part 6 is a comedy. Yeah. I mean, there isn't a Halloween that's a comedy, and I think as long as they keep that character, don't make him silly. He can stay scary. But I don't think you can go back from that. I'm never going to look at Jason as scary again. I'm never going to look at Freddy as scary again. He's become a parody of himself,
Yeah, I 100% agree. You're right. That's a very good point. But also, too, and another point is that I don't mean crossover universe. Like you don't see Marvel characters crossing over with DC, crossing over with Star Wars guys. I don't mean that. I don't want Michael to fight Ash or whatever. That's not what I mean. I mean, dive into the universe that is Halloween and that is Michael Myers, or that is keep with the characters that are within that universe. Like, how cool would it be to do a Dr. Loomis younger, being a psychiatrist, being the doctor to other serial killers before Michael Myers, I mean, dealing with he had a career before Michael Myers. You know, so what was that? That would be cool. I would watch that.
Well,
it's kind of like Hannibal, you know. And,
that's what I was about to say. It's kind of like they did with Hannibal. I mean,
like they did with Hannibal.
Right.
Even they did
Loomis,
Scream,
you know?
they did a Scream TV series too. I mean, they tried, you know. So I mean, anything's possible if you do it well.
If you have good writers and a good concept, I think there's a ton of fodder there. There's so much information that you could do with Lori and, you know, those crossing those streams, and you know that's what I mean by a universe.
Right. No, Would you?
I'm ready to write the Bennett Tramer diaries.
That'd be a great one. I'd read the shit out of it, and then I'd watch it. Would you guys be okay? Okay, because there was a lot of controversy. At least in the Halloween community, about you know, with the Rob Zombie Halloween. They showed a lot of you know, Michael, you know, growing up, coming from a damaged home. He took away that mystique of, you know, just a suburban kid that was raised right and then just snaps for no reason, which I think is scarier in of itself. The fact that this kid had no reason to snap and just evil exists for whatever reason. If they had done something, you know, Chris, you had said something about, you know, if they had done an earlier Dr. Loomis case files or something like that, where they explored Dr. Loomis's career before he treated Michael. If they do something like that on a HBO or a Netflix with a young Michael Myers, you know, while he's being treated, you know, do you think that would sell? I mean, I don't know. I think that would be.
I think the way you'd have to do that is that it would be a very C character. Like it would just float in and out every 5 episodes or something. You would revisit that. I don't think you could. I think we know enough, even though we don't know a lot. I think we know enough about Michael Myers. You don't want to go there. Don't go into that. That's been overanalyzed. Even in our own minds, it's been overanalyzed. I think I think it's less about that than going, you know, because again, I always think in reality things, and you go, Loomis, you're never. I know a lot of psychiatrists. Don't ask me why. But anyway, you're not treating one patient all the time. You're not dedicated to one patient. You're dealing with a lot of patients. So if you had a younger Loomis or something that is dealing with a young Michael Myers out here every 5 episodes or whatever, and then you had all these other really cool characters, kind of like Mindhunter. You know, look at the show Mindhunter. You like do it like that, where he's like talking to all these different people to try to learn about each one. He's trying to learn about young Michael Myers by talking to these 5 guys, or going. You know, there's so much that can be done. There's again opportunity right in front of you.
By the way, that anniversary is coming up for Halloween 6 pretty soon. The 29th will be the 25th anniversary of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, which is a movie me and Jay love.
I do love that one.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying we love it. You know what I mean? But
he's going away.
Yes, all right. I like that a lot. I like it, Stephen.
You guys didn't watch our Halloween ranking, did you?
No, I watched a piece of it because you guys. I mean, and again, you guys.
I watched a piece of it.
No, it's long. I mean, it's long. You know, but no, I was. I want to watch. I'm going to watch it. I started watching it. And again,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching it.
I watched your all's first several episodes and started that one because and that's what I was gonna say for you guys watching this. If you're enjoying any of this, just a bunch of fans talking, go see their channel because like Sean said,
that's all it is.
If you guys, if we can do it, they can do it better.
We're not nearly as entertaining as you guys. You guys are like.
You guys are like calm and you can sit and listen to you and feel good.
You guys have a lot of energy. You're always smacking each other. There's a dick involved. Or there's
there's always a dick involved.
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah,
it's like your show should be called Shenanigans.
Yeah, it's okay, Sean. Sometimes people can't handle a dick.
Our show isn't Shenanigans. Our show is
here. This thing's dark.
It's dark.
Our show is way calmer. Our show is just like sitting there going.
But I love it.
Yeah, we have our get off.
Yeah, you guys are. You know, I saw the one with James U. Courtney. You guys are real down to earth. You obviously are fans, and James U. Courtney, such a sweetheart. Comes off as a really nice dude, real awesome dude, real positive. And I do know that one of the things that you also said that you were like, what do you feel about Halloween Kills being delayed? And he was real positive about it. He's like, hey, I think it's a good idea because it needs to be seen in theaters and And I don't know, just right, yeah, I know. But you guys are just interacting. You guys have a really good chemistry together, and it was great. It was awesome.
It was a good thing when he was saying that you couldn't read the Blumhouse letter.
You know what? I like Sean's response to that
in theaters.
He's like, I'm really happy that it's.
Yeah.
I think it's the right thing to do.
And he's like, Ryan, what is this last? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't read that. Can I say that? Can I say that legally?
I'm having a good time, Wayne.
Yeah, well, I like Sean though, because Sean came out right away. He's like, I think it fucking sucks. And he was like, oh, well, I'm kidding. Cool, though.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing when you were talking because you were talking just a second ago, Sean. I was just thinking to myself when you started talking. I was like, I wonder if when because Chris knows how we are a lot. Sean, I don't know how much you know about how we are, but I was just thinking to myself, I wonder when Sean came on here tonight, if he wondered at some point I was going to look him in the eye and be like, some people can't handle a dick, Sean. I mean, what do you want?
I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning thinking that question is going to pop up in their life on a day to day.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Well, Sean and I we talk about dicks. We talk about Dick Warlock.
We talked about I delved in heavily into the balls.
You did. Oh yeah, that's right. You were all about the balls this last.
Yeah, I really.
As you rub your nipple,
like to the point where I was like, no, I'm getting uncomfortable. Like I'm starting to get like to the point where I was like, can we not talk about powder on balls now? Like, what are we doing?
I was talking about powder on my sack, and he didn't relate to it. Do you guys powder?
I've never had to powder my sack, but I felt like I should.
You know what? If we're gonna get into this, I'm gonna go get it.
No powder.
This is a perfect time.
I've never thought about it, but I mean, is it nice? Is it exquisite?
Dude, it changed my life. But Chris apparently has very tiny balls.
I'm gonna look into it.
I just have good hygiene.
It has nothing to do with hygiene. Have you never heard of swamp ass?
It does too.
Oh yeah, swamp ass, man, it's killer.
This is to prevent swamp ass.
How do you get swamp? I've never had swamp.
Never had swamp
Your butt
ass
crack
before?
sweats, man.
Oh, dude, come to Kentucky where the humidity is like 1,000.
No, I've worked in Atlanta on like The Walking Dead, where it's like ridiculous.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
but
Apparently he just shaves everything constantly. I don't know.
Maybe I do.
Waxes it every day.
What's the matter with that?
You go out in the garage there, you hold on to the creep show booth.
I'm not a hairy guy. Look at me. I'm not a hairy guy. I'm like a baby mouse. I have barely any body hair.
Well, there you go.
Is that what causes it? Is that what causes it?
I have no idea.
Just be glad. Just be glad and be thankful.
I am glad you're swamp ass shaming me that I don't have it.
No, you're shaming me for using a product
I
to
just
prevent.
don't understand it.
It would be like if you didn't get odor from your armpit and you're like, I don't use deodorant. Why do you use deodorant? Who uses
just
deodorant?
don't understand
Wash yourself.
it.
I'm so happy right now.
All right. I just don't understand it.
Do you use deodorant, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, thank God.
But not because I smell.
Well, now, I may be using the powder not because my stuff smells. I just want it to move better. What do you think of that?
Tune in Saturday night where Chris questions Sean's wiping techniques.
Now, if you want to hear more about this conversation, watch the Matthew
Tune
Lillard.
in onto our show.
There you go.
Oh.
And this is the shit that you get to listen to.
I'm glad. I was going to ask you, by the way, if I could bring that up. You guys mentioned that you're going to have that you already had, but you will have Matthew Lillard. You've had Matthew Lillard, but that sounded wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
so many times.
Does he powder his balls?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to answer for him. I'm going to say yes.
So.
He's a powderer.
So.
I'll find out. I'll ask him. I'll text him right now.
I've wanted so badly to. We talked about that before to interview him. I have actually I have a question for you guys about that, about Scream and Matthew Lillard. But this is the perfect time. Speaking of balls and whatnot, if you guys want to take an us break real quick to go.
Yeah.
I may go powder right now.
Yeah,
I'm going to go powder and just see
powder
what it's
your nuts
like.
real
I'm going to
quick.
experience that.
I'll edit it out.
Vlog.
We'll.
Are we going to do a hard five?
Shit.
Which is the, come watch.
How old are you
watch
guys?
the Old Man Show.
How old are you guys?
I'm 34. Jay's 35. So we're not far behind.
And
Not far.
I'm gonna be fucking 50 in 1 week. A week from today.
Holy, no fucking way, dude. You guys don't even look like there's no fucking way.
What's your birthday,
Fuck you.
man?
I'm 52.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
What? September 30th?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's the 28th. I was thinking it might be the same thing, but yeah. No, I mean, at this point, it's all the same, right? 20's the new 30, 30's the new 40. Or
No.
right?
Yeah, you guys keep on thinking that.
Dude,
keep on thinking.
I went to
when I
chase
was
my kid down
34,
and
35, when I was 34, 35, I don't even remember. This is how good my 30s were. I don't even remember where I was in my 30s. It was probably in Australia doing God knows what on whatever movie. I was like, you get into your 50s, man, everything changes. Everything changes. It's hard to explain.
Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that.
Sean, get ready. Get ready.
Because they got bad when they got in my 40s. That's when
No, get ready for 50s, man. It's a whole level of fucking agony.
I was going to say, I chased my kid down a hill the other day. She was on her bike and she started rolling too fast and didn't know how to brake. And I went to chase her down and I literally tore both like quads in my legs. I was like flopping down the hill and I was like, shit.
Dude, I tear my quads getting out of bed in the morning. Fucking
yeah. But no swamp ass. So, I mean, at least you got
no
that
swamp ass.
There you go.
It's different for everybody.
Let me ask you a question, Sean, and of course, Chris. When you do the podcast now, the thing with two heads, is there a difference? Like, do you notice a difference when like Sean's done the hallowed grounds and things like that? Is there like a nervous kind of thing that goes on when you're getting ready to, interview, like someone like Matt Lillard or Heather Langenkamp or anybody like nothing like that?
No, I mean, Chris and our world is dealing with celebrities every day, so
So you're
totally immune to starstruck. I mean, to me, it'd have to be somebody crazy for me to get starstruck. It's usually somebody totally silly like that. Like I think I said that like my white whale of people I want to meet is fucking Chris Makepeace from Meatballs and My Bodyguard. I mean, if I met him, I would nerd out. I'd be like, oh my God, it's Woody the Wabbit. But I mean, I could walk up to Johnny Depp, who I've never met before, right now, and have a conversation with him like he was a guy on the street. I don't get like that. And to be honest with you, that is one of the keys, at least in my career, for where I got, is I've always kind of had that demeanor. And if you fanboy, immediately a celebrity is like, okay, whoa.
Yeah, calm down.
But if you're chill and you treat them like a regular, they just want to be treated like a regular person. They don't want to be put on a pedestal. Yeah. And that's one of the things I think that why I have such good relationships with people like Matthew Lillard and Nev Campbell. It's because I don't geek out over them,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's because I mean, he's absolutely right. I deal with celebrities every day and have for the past 30 years of my life. They're just people, and you realize they're as full of shit as you are. And there are times that you kind of go, oh, like if I saw Pete Townsend, I'd be like, oh fuck, like there are certain people, but you realize that Sean's right. They don't want to be treated any differently. You don't want to be treated. You just treat them like friends, man. And they're people, and but also too, there's a level of professionalism that you have to maintain, and I think that helps break down a lot of barriers. Is that we're both there to do a job, and if it happens that you get along and you have similar interests and your personalities mesh, then it goes further, and so you have to maintain a certain professionalism there. And so and then after a while, after time goes by, again, it goes back to, you realize everyone's full of shit. You just realize that it's like, but there are those people that are so artistic and so on a different level that it throws you off, and those people are very few and far between.
Like you're not, those kind of guys. Like, hey man, I was wondering, like, did you want to get a Bud Light, like down the street? Like, I don't know. Do you know what Bud Light means in the artistic? He's like, I don't. What? Like, I get it.
Well, there are those people that you end up being like Chris Farley, where you're like, remember that time when you were, when you said,
remember when when you were in the
Remember?
Beatles.
When you were in the Beatles, was
Yeah,
that awesome?
Yeah.
Wasn't that awesome? You know,
I just watched that recently. You reminded me of it. You brought it up in an episode, so I found it on YouTube, and he's talking to Paul McCartney, and he's like, "Yeah, was that awesome?
Was that awesome?"
Yeah, I get that. Because for me it'd be like I guess freaking out over like a hardcore celebrity and just like, oh my god, like this is like, but I might do the Chris Farley thing if it was like someone like Bill Murray. It's like, remember that time that you were in Ghostbusters and you did proton pack stuff?
Yeah, there's certain people.
Bill Murray, forget it. Bill Murray's like one of my heroes. I love Bill.
But you are right though. You guys both are right. I'm sure that they just want to chill out and have a good time and you know, let's just talk, like, because you don't want to be like, like some like other like E Entertainment or Extra or something and be like, hey, you remember that time that you were in that Friday the 13th movie, Jamie Lee Curtis, and there was a guy with a Friday the 13th mask on,
right?
or whatever.
But also too, you have to think about it was a moment, like the way that we see their performances or these movies that we hold in such high regard and iconic and everything. You have to remember that was a job for these people. That was a gig where they got up at 5 a.m. and they had to get in the car and they had to go to set and they had to eat their breakfast just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And then they had a very specific amount of lines every single day that they had to learn. And then they shot that little bit of a scene. It's not like they shoot the whole movie in a day.
Right.
It's this experience. It's so broken up and so spread out over so much time that you can't pinpoint any one performance or moment of a performance for them. They'll go, if you ask them and you go, that scene where you said this thing and you cried and it was amazing and it touched my life and it changed everything in my world. Well, they're sitting there going, that was the day my kid was sick. And I remember that I was really worried that I was getting a call that my kid was coming home from school and he was sick.
Oh,
that
damn.
was the day that I did that scene, you know what I mean? It's like,
you
have to put it into perspective.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
That got a little heavy. Jesus.
Oh shit! I wasn't even like
sick kids.
I liked it though.
We talked about dicks.
I was talking about powder in my sack.
There's only certain people I joke around like we're gonna have you on. I mean, I freaked out when you messaged me and I was like, holy fucking shit! Like Chris watches our shit. Like, oh my god. Joe Bob Briggs texted me once and he was so fucking ambiguous, dude. Like he just so fucking ambiguous. Like once I shared an article that he wrote and he texted me, he was like, hey, thanks for sharing my article, and like that's just like cool or whatever. But then like 2 months later, out of the blue, he texted me and he's like, so you Twitter messaged me and he was like, so you guys kind of have a handle on, you have this whole horror comedy market cornered, huh? And I'm like, are you talking shit to me, or like are you like complimenting me? Like I don't know how to respond. I'm out in the garage with my wife, like drinking whiskey, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to say. Like I don't know what to say.
Bob's like, come on, bring it, fucker.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I did Monster Vision, bitch.
Yeah. I'm like,
come over.
I can't break apart what he's saying. And I'm like, I wrote him a message back, and it was something like, I mean, we hold no fucking candle to you, man. Like you're the master. And like he never responded. And for like 2 months, I was like, stupid. Like what a fucking idiot. Like,
did you ever find out? Did he ever respond?
No, he came to Scarefest in Lexington, and he was doing a thing, and I sent him a message back, and I was like, hey man, we're gonna be here. Like I would love to just like buy you a beer and just like talk to you if you have time or whatever. If you don't, it's whatever. And he'd never responded. And then after it was over, he was like, sorry, I just got this. Didn't have time. Maybe next time. And I'm like, that guy fucking hates us. He was talking
100%,
shit.
100%. Yeah.
Sean, do you have any? Do you know him?
I don't know him. I've met him several times. I'm kind of getting friendly with that co-host chick, that Diane
Darcy or whatever.
Darcy. I think her real name's Diane.
Yeah, I think Diana Darcy.
Yeah.
I've met her at a couple conventions and we've messaged. I don't really know her either. So, but seemed like I've been a fan, Joe Bob fan since Monster Vision days back in the day, and
awesome.
but I don't know him. But kind of a similar story. This a different level of kind of what you just said about the text from Joe Bob. Imagine getting a call out of the blue from Jamie Lee Curtis, which is what happened to me. And I didn't know her. I'd met her a few times as a fan, but one day my phone rings. It's blocked call, and I answer it, and it's like, Sean. I said, yeah. And she goes, Jamie Lee Curtis. And immediately I recognized the voice. I knew it was her. And I'm like, hi, what's up? How you doing? And she's like, and she just goes into this thing about basically that she was trying to find all the people from the original Halloween film to autograph these masks that she wanted to auction for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. And she said, I keep calling people and everybody keeps saying, you need to talk to Sean Clark. He knows how to get a hold of everybody. So I just said, fuck it. I'm going to call this guy. And so she had gotten my number from Tommy Lee Wallace. And so I'm like, yeah, I can help you. And it was from that conversation that the whole convention thing happened. And it was just out of the blue. Jamie Lee Curtis calls me. That's the kind of person she is. She's got the nuts to do that. Curtis, I'm going to call anybody I want, and I'm yes.
Yeah, no middle people, no agent, just her.
No, she called me. Yeah,
boom. Yeah, and I it probably was really good that you powdered your balls that day because there have been a lot of swamp ass going on if you hadn't done that.
I've had to powder them since then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
I got
awesome,
a good.
man.
Sean, I have a good Paul Thomas Anderson story.
You'll do it on this show, but you won't do it.
I'll wait. I'll it's only because you just brought it up. I can wait to do it on our show.
No, go ahead. It was just funny because our episode we just recorded, somebody wrote in, one of the fan questions was, can you give us something about, tell us Paul Thomas Anderson story. And you said, no, I can't do that. Now you're going to, go ahead.
Well, this is a different one.
Okay.
Should I wait? Should I keep?
No, go ahead. I'm
okay.
just fucking around.
No, it's the whole thing where I was working on American Horror Story. I was in New Orleans. We were shooting. It might have been Freak Show or Coven.
Yeah.
It's Coven.
There will be a COVID later, I'm sure.
COVID-19.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there, and my phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize, and I just picked it up because I was on location. So I go, hello, and he goes, Chris. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm like, fuck off. Who is this? Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, you remember we were hanging out in China on Kill Bill and blah, 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 and we did this. Remember you came in and auditioned for, because at that time I was still dabbling in acting, so I went and auditioned for Inherent Vice, that movie he did, Inherent Vice. And obviously didn't get the part. But he calls me, he goes, so hey man, you want to be in the movie? And I go, what? Like I'm on set going, what? What are you talking about? Who is this? It's Paul Thomas Anderson, goddammit. He keeps saying, remember we were in China and we were at the Great Wall of China and we were hanging out with Bob. I'm like, well, only he would know that. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So what's up, dude? Why are you calling me? He goes, well, I got this movie and I'm doing it. It's Inherent Vice and you auditioned for it. And I liked your audition, but you weren't right for that part. But do you want to come and be in the movie? Do you want to just come and be in the movie? And I go, yeah, but I'm in New Orleans. I'm on American Horror Story. He goes, well, can you fly home just for like a day or two? It's only like a day or two. And I go, I can check. Why? He goes, I just want you to come lay in the dirt with what's his name, Phoenix.
Joaquin
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh, so I just want you to come and do it. It's this role, and there's a couple lines. It's not a big deal. He goes, I just thought you'd be good for it, and it'd be cool to have you. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I go to production, and I go, I got to go home for a couple days to be in this Paul Thomas Anderson movie, which was the weirdest thing ever. So I get on the plane, I fly home, I land, I come here, I get in my car, I drive to Lancaster. They cut my hair into a mohawk. They put me in like this crazy biker outfit. They put me in the dirt lying next to Joaquin Phoenix, handcuff me to him, cover me in blood. And it's the opening of the movie. It's like, I think it's the first shot of the movie, actually, of Inherent Vice. Inherent Vice.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like lying right there. It's like a close-up of me and him. It's like it pulls back. And then I had another scene where I talked, but it got cut out. Hopefully not because I was bad, but apparently because it didn't work for the story. And then I did 2 days of that, drove back home, got on a plane, went back to New Orleans. And it was the weirdest thing getting that call going, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Sorry,
man, like
I gotta go lie in the dirt with Joaquin Phoenix. It's not a big deal. I'll be back.
That's what I was gonna say. It had to be so fucking surreal. Like that had to be so surreal. That whole experience, just doing that, and then for like you're laying in the dirt with Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah,
you're laying in the dirt with Joaquin
Brolin
Phoenix.
Is there and...
With Josh Brolin is offset. There's directors, there's lights and cameras and action, and you got a mohawk, and then 2 days. And then you're back where you're like, what the shit just happened?
And then I'm back asking for scrambled eggs at craft service.
Yeah,
I'm hungry,
it's insane. That's so cool.
So at no point when it got like quiet and you're laying in the dirt with Joaquin Phoenix, did he like lean over and like whisper something just weird as shit to you? Like,
no.
The tall man walks at night. And you're like, God damn it, Joaquin, you're so fucking out there. And then you just lay back down. That didn't happen?
No,
not once?
No.
The fat man walks alone? None of that?
The fat man walks alone. World War II.
But if you come watch our show, you'll hear more stories like this.
There you go, man. Like these guys are awesome with that. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't even know we were filming.
I had a weird thing kind of like that happen to me just recently. I was at a friend's birthday party about a month ago, and the bass player from Korn was there, Fieldy, and I've been around him a lot because my old band played with him, played with Korn, but he didn't know me. I didn't know him, and I'm friends with all these musician guys that are all connected to them. And anyway, he leaves with another friend of mine. The next day I get a call from that friend who had flown in for the other friend's birthday. And he said, hey, can you come pick me up at Fieldy's house? We're going to go over to Ryan's to continue the birthday party over at someone else's house. This guy, Ryan, who was a guitar player for a band called Orgy. I don't know if you remember them.
I remember Orgy, yeah.
I remember Orgy, yeah.
And now he's in a band called Julian K, and he also sings for Edema now. So he's doing a lot of...
Oh, my God.
Edema!
Get inside you.
Yeah, you're begging me to stay.
Yeah.
We do that all the time.
So anyway, I go over there, and I'm like, well, where does he live? And he gives me the address. I go, dude, that's like 3 miles from my house. I go, I didn't know he lived by me. And he's like, yeah. And so I go over there, and I go, come on, let's go. He comes out, and he goes, well, come in for a minute, And I go, well, dude, I don't even know this guy. I feel weird, like, going in his house. I know, I talked to him at the party last night. I don't know. No, come on in. We go in, and next thing I know, we didn't even leave. We stayed there all night, hanging out with him, and I even drove him down to the grocery store to get some more beer. But no, we were just hanging out, and then like a week later, we exchanged numbers. A week later, he texts me, "Hey, you want to come to this pizza place? This friend of mine's band's playing in the parking lot. If it'll be chill, you want to come?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I go and hang out with him there. Then he texts me like 2 weeks ago. It was like a week or two ago, and says, "Hey, I was thinking, he's got this side band called Stillwell, and they have an album that just came out, I think Friday." And he said, we're making these silly videos we've been doing on Instagram. And, we were talking, Q, the singer, and I were talking, well, maybe we should go over to Sean's house and do a couple of videos there. If you don't want to do that, it's cool. Because he had saw videos of my collection. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, yeah. It hasn't happened yet. It was supposed to happen last Wednesday. But anyway, it's just weird, surreal. I didn't know this guy like a month ago. And now he's coming over to my house to make videos.
Full circle, man. Like,
yeah,
that's what we were talking about earlier, right, Chris? It's like you say yes to shit. You put yourself in there for experiences to happen, and the next thing you know, you're sitting there going like, "Do I like buy donuts for Fieldy from Korn, or like what do I?"
But the surrealism that comes over you, like after that's done, you're like, "What the fuck just happened? Did I take the blue pill or whatever, or the red pill from the Matrix?"
Jim,
like, this is like a thing.
Yeah, it's totally it. I can't even count how many times I've laid my head on my pillow going, "That was weird."
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you're laying there like, oh, was this a fucking dream, right? Like, and you wake up and you're like, oh no, that shit just happened. It's like, you were drunk the night before, and and you're like, oh shit, I got to remember all this stuff. What did I say? And what did I do? And you're like, oh no, that really did happen. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah. But it's stupid for me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. But it's like that movie Jim Carrey, Yes Man, where he just starts saying yes to shit and his life gets crazy. And for anybody that's listening, that's like, I don't know, should I do podcasting? Should I do this? Should I go fucking be a skydiver? Like whatever the hell it is, just like do what you want to do. If you want to do it, if you're interested in it, say yes. Don't be scared to do it. And then weird shit happens when you work really fucking hard and you put yourself in awkward situations and you say yes to them. Weird shit happens, man. Yeah. I mean,
9 times out of 10, it's nothing that you ever would even think of.
No,
like you can't think of it.
You're never gonna hit a home run if you never swing at a ball.
Exactly.
You gotta swing.
100%.
And it's not always Fieldy or Christopher Nelson or whatever. It's saying yes to somebody who's like who lives two neighborhoods over, who's like, hey, do you want me to help me shoot a short film? And like you love film. Maybe you're socially awkward and you feel uncomfortable, and maybe you're gonna have to stay up. Maybe you're gonna get 2 hours of sleep because you gotta go to work at Kroger tomorrow. But if you want to do that, man, fucking do it, because you don't know where it's gonna lead to. And if you do that 1,000 times, you might end up in a pretty cool spot. And
or even
100%.
Just once. It
100%.
could take one. It only takes one time.
Yeah,
only one time.
Exactly, man.
I thought was really interesting with Sean specifically was that I liked that I watched your Horror Hallowed Grounds session 9 when you did the session 9 coverage, and that was great. I love session 9. I love fucking stuff. It was so good. And it was so interesting, by the way, that when you went there and that they've made that mental asylum that shut down in 1992, which you explained in your video, into luxury apartments. Like you say they've renovated it. It's not like, these like rich, debutantes are. Yeah, they're not standing, in like what the mental asylum, it's been renovated. But I like that the footage shows when you filmed it back in like, what was it, 04, 05, like the footage that you had.
When we allegedly broke in there, yeah.
Allegedly. But yeah, it was a great episode. I love that. So I guess what I was going to get to is so when I had mentioned earlier about you transitioning now with Chris doing this podcast, is there, and I had mentioned that earlier, but you said there's no like difference or anything like that as far as like doing these kind of episodes now versus what you were doing with the Hallowed Grounds. Is it a huge difference for you or?
Well, I mean, the huge difference is I don't have a cameraman and I don't have an editor. I'm doing I mean, we're doing it right here on our own computers, and I'm editing it on my own computer. So that's the huge difference, is I'm not just showing up doing the work and somebody's handing me a finished product later, so there's a lot more work involved. But it's fun. I mean, that's the thing. I bitched to Chris about how many hours I spend editing, but I'm not enjoying it. I enjoy it. It's fun. I enjoy the creative process. I enjoy cutting our bits together to make them funnier, adding in extra things to make them funnier. There's a craft to that I enjoy, and it's a challenge every time I edit an episode, so it's fun.
Dude,
but will I have the time to do that when shit gets back to normal? I don't know.
$1 million question, right?
Yeah, if this thing took off and we actually started making some money on this, then I would have a financial motivation to keep doing it, but I can't imagine it's going to rival our regular jobs.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to tell, man. Like just as you mentioned it there's something about waking up in the morning, and especially for guys like you found your way a little bit earlier, and Chris especially, fucking since Batman Returns, man.
It's a kind way of saying we're old.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Found your way earlier. Back in the day,
trust me, when you guys were doing shit like that, I was 20-something working at a fucking toothpaste factory, going, I got to do something with my fucking life, man. This sucks.
But you had great teeth, right?
No, but no, I was like, I have a desire in me to work, I know I want to work. I know I'm a hard worker. I'll bust my ass, but I just don't believe in doing it for what I'm doing it for, and like trying to find my way. And this YouTube channel for us was that. And little did we know it would be. It's not like I was like, or either of us were like, man, I really want to be a YouTube person. Fuck no.
No.
That sounds like the worst thing ever. But the fact
I
that
thought we fucking sucked.
yeah, just
right away.
when you can wake up and do. When you can wake up and grow something that's your own, that you don't have to, and everybody has bosses in one way or another, but when you can wake up in the morning and you're like, I can grow something that's my own and I could do it my way, there's just no better feeling in the world, Yeah. It's the best thing ever, whether it's by accident or by force or whatever. It's just, it takes a long fucking time and it's a long road and it sucks.
Well, I think there's also you have to have the ability to try something, know if it is or isn't working, and then either restructuring or trying something completely different.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge key to it.
But not like, giving up either. Like some people just give up the second it's hard.
You don't give up the minute you try one thing and it doesn't work.
Right on.
Yeah.
You try something else, and then you try something else, and then you try something else. People also get the wrong idea. I think that, not to get too heavy into this, but it's like if you stick to it and you work hard enough, whatever it is that you do will work. That's not true.
Good enough. You're smart enough.
And God, people like me.
Yeah, you got to mix that with delusion. Like I can work as hard as I want to every day of the week. I'm never going to be center for the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things that are never ever going to happen. But like with Sean, you love horror, you love what you're doing, you put yourself out there, you did your thing, you did your show, and you ran into Tony Moran, and that's another fucking story, but that was your first client, right? So and then the next thing you know, you run this whole convention and you're in the middle of all these people, and now you guys have this podcast. God knows what's going to happen with that. Chris, your story is different, but the point is like putting yourself in the fucking game and working and doing the small shit, and then it works out okay. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just passionate about it. Get
in the game and learn the difference between art and commerce and how to walk that line in between.
Exactly.
Art and commerce you guys are putting yourself on the tracks, and that's what it is. Don't stay on the tracks when the trains come. You're gonna take it on.
The thing that's kind of ironic about the whole thing is the fact that I was trying to escape the YouTuber title for years, because people would come up to me at conventions and go, dude, I love your YouTube show. And I'd be like, I don't have a fucking YouTube show. Yeah. Oh, you mean that Horrors Hollow Grounds episode somebody illegally uploaded to YouTube? Yeah, that's my show.
Oh, man, Sean, I could only imagine the fucking frustration and the amount of times you had to powder your balls just because of the sweat coming down from anger.
3 times a day, at least. I was going like it was nobody's business.
Shit.
That's the difference between how it used to be and how it is now. Like, you know what I mean? Now you've got people like I said, like Will Smith, or like, I want to do a YouTube channel because that's where it's at. Like, I never ever in my fucking life wanted to be like, I want to be a YouTuber. I mean, I'm 34. I'm not. My kid, she's 10. She might want to be a YouTuber, but no interest in that. All I care about is I get to wake up and work on building something. I just hang out with my friend and we talk about horror movies, and it just happens to fucking be on YouTube, If that grows into something else, that's amazing. But anyways, on that subject, Scream 5, how do you guys feel about Scream 5? And do you think that Matthew Lillard could have survived the broken TV from Scream?
Oh, shit.
That was a hard jump, right? I felt bad because we just kept going and going and going.
Well, I will say this.
That was a good segue, Mike. Good job.
Before we get too deep into how we feel about Scream 5, we are actually recording. We just did the Halloween ranking episode. Mm-hmm. We are doing a Scream ranking episode with Spencer, the singer of Ice Nine Kills, this Saturday.
Shit.
Genius.
So anyway, so we won't get into what we think of those movies because we got to save it for that episode. But as part of 5, I don't care. I mean, it's kind of like keep going. Why not? I mean, I'm not super excited for it, but at the same time, it could be great. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. I'm glad it's happening. Could Matt have survived? Hell yeah, he's a stallion. He could have survived that.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
I've been screaming that and that's I plan to bring that up, not in that horrible, fucking awful, goddamn segue that was. But there's a fight that me and Jay constantly have. It's like, and we were talking about Matthew Lillard earlier. Like, he gets stabbed a couple times. He has a tube TV dropped on his face. I think he could totally survive that. I mean, have you ever watched daytime TV like Sally Raphael, where some chick gets shot in the head by her boyfriend and lives and is perfectly fine? I mean, yeah. On TV.
Well, in my defense though, is like, he didn't only just get stabbed multiple times. He was pretty much bleeding out, and this big giant tube TV that weighed at least 65 pounds back in the day crashed on his face while it was still plugged in, and the motherfucker got electrocuted. Like, you see his legs go, ha ha ha. He was shaking like I'm not saying that
he was overacting.
Survived. Yeah, I'm saying he could have survived, but at the same time,
Forrest Pinker can survive. All that shocking.
It's true. But I feel like a connection with Sean in a lot of ways, because he's like, Scream 5, like, I don't really care. Like, it's cool if they do it, but at the same time, I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest, the first thing I thought when I heard it was like, fuck yeah, Nev's going to have a bump at the conventions. Cha-ching. That's what I thought.
That's what it is.
All right, John Carpenter.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, to answer your question, actually, Matt tells a story in our interview with him that he was supposed to be in part 3, and so he was supposed to survive. So I guess the answer is yes, he could have survived because he was supposed to be in the movie.
And they used the TV show. What was the name of that fucking TV show? It was a good show. Kenny, what was the name of that TV show? The Following. They used that storyline, right? So I'm like, if he was going to survive in Scream 3, shit, he could survive today. But I don't know. What do you think, Chris? Do you think he survived the TV?
I don't care.
I love the honesty, the brutal honesty right away. He's like, you know what?
You guys fucking probably know already.
It was well thought out, but I don't care.
Believe me. You see that attitude right there? He is so revved up to do this episode on Saturday.
By the way, that's a perfect segue. This is actually a good segue. They're interviewing Matthew Lillard on their show. So make sure in the link below, you guys go and you subscribe to their show, because they're gonna talk about that. They got all the goods and more of the shit we talked about today. All right, do you guys care if
we gotta let them know where it is. The YouTube channel it's my channel. It's Malfunction, which is hard to spell. It's basically the word malfunction. Take TION off the end and put my name SEAN. But the show is called The Thing with Two Heads.
Yeah.
I'll
link that shit. So it's good. You can just click it and you'll go straight.
Technology is our friend.
You have no idea how many times I almost said, so instead of Sean Clark, like today we have Sean Malfunction on, and I'm like, wait, no, fuck,
I like that. The name's pretty bad. I like the name.
It's a good idea.
By the way, I was gonna. I know this isn't related to Scream or anything like this. I just want to throw out. Let's get crazy. Let's get fucking random here. By the way, let's go. Chris, I was gonna ask you, man. Since again,
show us your dicks. Yeah.
Fucking rock on. Powdered balls for life.
Let's see those tiny shaved balls.
I was gonna ask you, Chris, man. Since you did work on Batman Returns and you had that weird experience. With Nelson, not Nelson, I'm sorry, Christopher Walken, back in the day. You saw him.
Great story, by the way.
I was going to ask you and again, Sean, you can jump in the batting cage here as well and take the ball to the face, and I want your opinion as well. But what did you think about the
You could take the balls to the face if you'd like.
Yeah, it's fine. Everybody does it. Robert Pattinson's The Batman, the trailer. What did you think overall? The Batman. Did you watch it? How do you feel about it?
I did watch it. I thought it was really cool. I'm looking forward to it.
And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I feel like the Batman, it felt like a very horror kind of, like theme with it. Like, like I mentioned, we did our trailer reaction with it, but I felt like it was very Seven. Like it had like some kind of, and I saw somebody's opinion on it, and I think that Batman loses in this. Like, it's not going to be a happy-go-lucky story. It's going to be a very dark kind of.
It's funny. Everybody always. It's one of my biggest issues with watching shows on YouTube, is that everyone always speculates. I'm not a big speculator. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to think this or no. I want to go into it with a fresh mind and an open mind and watch a story unfold the way it was meant to unfold. I don't want to know all that shit. I just want to go to the movie. I watched the trailer. Trailer looks great. It does. I could see how people think it looks. It's a kind of David Fincher kind of vibe to it. I don't know. The movie could be completely different. We all know how trailers are so different than the movie, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's cool. I like Batman. I think when I had heard that he was cast as Batman, I was kind of like, huh? But having seen the trailer, I'm like, I'll definitely see it. I'll definitely go see that movie. It looks super cool, and I'm excited about it. And I kind of like what I like about it is it's breaking it down, being a little more. It feels like I haven't seen the film. This is a little more rough around the edges and dirty and gritty and plausible and you know what I mean? Like
right on. Yeah.
I just hope there's a lot more psychology to it. That's one thing that some of the Batman movies lack. I like the psychology behind Batman and why he does what he does.
I was going to say, and again, I want Sean's opinion here as well. I feel like Batman in a way. You know, we're all horror fanatics here, obviously, for, you know, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, whatever. But I feel like Batman is a horror character in of itself, like a survivor in a horror universe. I mean, you know, you look at his villains, like, you know, Scarecrow, and Clayface, whatever. You know, you could pick your Joker. I mean, they have these horrific kind of villainous attitudes and personas, right? I mean, and I think that Batman.
It's all based in tragedy.
Right. It's tragedy. And it's very horrific as far as like what these villains do to torment him, to, you know, get him to break. Like that's his whole thing. And so I think it's interesting, like they're going this way, and it does have a very rated R, dark, kind of overcast feel to the trailer. And I mean, you guys are, you know, Chris Nelson and Sean, you guys are awesome, and you guys exist in this community of horror as well. You know. But I wanted to get your opinion. Sean, what do you think, man?
I thought the trailer looked good.
I'm
looking forward to seeing it. You know, I watched it once. I didn't really kind of analyze it. I just went, oh, that looks better than I expected.
I was the same way. I saw it once. I was like, that looks good.
Chris, I sensed in your answer some Halloween Kills, like deep down, like. Because the reason I sense this is I feel that way. So many people with the movie are like just going so deep into everything in the script, the alleged script leak and the spoilers, and everybody's picking apart so deep. And I'm like, I'm the same as you. You and I have talked before, and you fucked with me. You've been like, hey, you know, you want to know what this is, and me knowing you're not going to fucking tell me. You're just trying to fuck with me a little bit, and I'm like. I mean, I have no willpower, so I don't want to see it, but if you want to show it to me, then I'll let you show it to me. And Chris is like, fuck you, I'm not showing you shit. I'm like, God damn it, I knew it.
I pulled a Weinstein.
But, I don't want to fucking know. Like, I really want, not just me, but so badly, I want everybody to just be able to enjoy it when it happens and experience it like a kid in a movie theater before we had the fucking internet and like, could, like, fucking sort out everything that happens.
Well, I get it. People are excited. They're excited for something, and everybody wants more. We just live in this society of more. Give me more. I want more. And if I can't have more, I'm going to create more.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to clip that in for right after we were talking about.
I just wanted to know, like you guys seem like, you know, you guys are in the horror genre, the system. And I feel like they're building it up to be almost a horror movie in a way. I feel like it's going to be, I mean, I don't know if they're going to, you know, go the rated R. And again, Chris, you worked on Batman Returns. I feel like Tim Burton was, you know, pushing the rated R. He didn't go all the way over that line, but it feels like they're going to maybe go rated R.
You couldn't at that time. At that time, you couldn't go rated R. That was a different time. You couldn't. At that time, you couldn't make Batman rated R. There was no way in hell, because it just wasn't going to happen. It was a different time. Now you can. Now it means money. You know,
exactly.
You know, now that it's like, make it rated R.
Give me that money.
Did the set of Returns feel like a horror movie, or did it feel like a comic book movie at the time?
No, it felt like a comic movie.
Yeah.
Felt like a Tim Burton comic book movie.
I guess, yeah, especially even though they were like clowns and it was like gothic and shit, it was still clowns and like over the top stuff, you know, like
it's not a dark. I mean, it has dark tones and dark subject matter, but it's not a. I mean, for a Batman movie, it was dark at the time. You know,
by the way, I was going to ask you, Sean, what was the? You mentioned Session 9 being was that your favorite episode to shoot on?
Well,
that was your favorite.
It was my favorite episode to make because it was different. Because I was using all this footage. Because I had been to the asylum twice, gotten in there twice, and I was just filming as a fan. Like, oh wow, look at this, you know, blah blah blah.
Cool, yeah.
And so it was fun. It was almost like it was a weird sort of documentary kind of vibe to that episode because I had to take all that old footage and cut it in with new footage and narrate it. And it was just very different. And I love that movie so much. And I've been championing that film since it came out. I saw it in the theater. And I immediately, I don't remember how, maybe I guess through social media or something at the time, because it was, 2002 or something. I reached out to the writer, Stephen Gevedon, and I think I asked him if he wanted to, grab a coffee or something. And we ended up meeting in New York City in the Village. And I just sat down and I was so into that movie, just nerded out hard. And now we're buddies, and he texted me just like a week ago, just kind of seeing how things were going, and he's awesome.
Well, a follow-up to that question is, Horror Hallowed Grounds, it's going to continue, I'm assuming, maybe eventually at some point. Yeah. Have you ever thought about taking the Academy Award-winning Chris Nelson on an adventure with you? Maybe doing the Halloween 2018 filming locations, or like in your opinion, Sean, what would be one place you would love to do that episode? The Hallowed Grounds episode. Where would you want to go? Where would be the next, maybe, if you could get to go?
Well, I mean, I'm in the process of putting some episodes together right now, just for fun, just to put on YouTube.
Right.
But like dream episodes that I would love to do, like a real, because I'm knocking these ones out by myself now, just for fun. But if I had like Buzz coming with me and shooting it, and Andrew editing and all that stuff, I'd love to do a definitive Shining episode.
Damn, yeah.
Which breaks down the book, the movie, and the miniseries, and because there's a lot of confusion as to what's a real place and what isn't, and what inspired what. And I did it as a written article in Horror Hound magazine. And then Clockwork Orange, I'd love to do a definitive episode on. And the Warriors. I mean, as far as like people have already been asking me about like Halloween 2018, or it was like, oh, you were on the set of Halloween Kills. Did you do Horror's Hallowed Grounds while you're there? I'm like, no. It's like the whole purpose of Horror's Hallowed Grounds is a retrospective, going back to these places 20 years later. These are new movies.
You want to be like Gale Weathers, like shoving over like David Gordon Green, and be like, and here we are on the set of Halloween Kills. Right, exactly. Kitty, get your fat ass out of the van. But no, well, if I don't, and you guys are fucking champs, and I it's one of those things I feel like it's a cool thing that we could probably do this all night long. Like I could sit and talk to you guys all night long and have a blast.
You guys are amazing.
I did have some fan questions, and I'd feel bad if we don't get to them.
We're not going to run off. Don't worry.
I know. Well, I feel guilty. Last time Chris was here, we had him here for like 4 fucking hours. His girlfriend was like feeding him in between sets, like Rocky, and like not really, but
when you're Academy Award winner, you get feeders.
Sorry, Academy Award winning Christopher Nelson was getting fed.
While people don't know that's a prerequisite. Like, obviously,
it comes with the statue.
Yeah,
a spork. Yeah, they give you a golden spork.
They issue you one. Yeah, I get. Yeah.
But anyway, so Danny Heron asks, can you ask Sean his top 5 favorite conventions? And can we get more Horror's Hallowed Grounds, which you already answered that part of it. But if you have a top 5 or even a favorite convention.
No. I can probably go 5. Let me see. My favorite convention, hands down, is Horror Hound Weekend. And my favorite one is the Cincinnati one. I just think it's the location is so cool, and it's to me that's the funnest show. Plus the guys who run Whorehound are some of my best friends, so it's like a big family reunion, and it's so much fun. My second favorite, I would say probably, and I'm not saying like, I'm saying Whorehound, that includes Indianapolis, so I'm not going to go city to city.
Right.
Second favorite would probably be Texas Frightmare. Third favorite, probably Monster Mania, Cherry Hill. Fourth favorite, probably Chiller Theater in New Jersey. And then fifth favorite, well, I would say when it was happening, Walker Stalker, when it was in its heyday before the collapse, was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life, especially the cruises, the Walking Dead cruises. And it's not because I'm a Walking Dead fan. It was just those were so much fun. We had so much fun. It was like a big party on a giant cruise line. I mean, it was insane.
The zombies.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But honorable mentions would be, London Film and Comic-Con. Oh God, I know some people are gonna be mad at me that I forgot. Mad Monster Party. Oh, I can't believe I left Mad Monster. I'm bumping Walker Stalker. Mad Monster Party gets fifth.
That's good.
And their North Carolina show and their Arizona shows are so much fun. So,
well, we the only ones we've actually been badly is we did the dudes who set up the and the name of it escapes me. They do the screenings where the movies happened. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about.
I know, yeah.
But they did have one in Kentucky, and they showed The Strangers 2 at the pool.
That was a cool convention.
We had a blast doing that. We had to go through security with our we had McDonald's cups full of beer and whiskey, and like security was checking the cups as we walked in because you're not supposed to have any alcohol.
But bitch, you went ahead of me, and Mike got passed through with no problem, and I was the one left holding the bag, and they're like, "Let me see in your cup." I'm like, dude, it's just ginger ale.
The thing was I was drinking whiskey and Coke. So like whiskey and Coke in a McDonald's cup doesn't look like anything. It looks like Coke, you know? Yeah. So we're in line and the security guard, it was a forest ranger or whatever. He's like looking at people's drinks. And I'm like, not unless he smells it. And Jay's like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, it's fine.
I was scared.
We go up there. He shines his light in.
Kicked out.
Yeah, he's like, "You're good to go." And I went through it. I thought Jay's fucked. I was like,
it was so bad.
Jay didn't have whiskey. He had Michelob Ultra, so it was straight foam from the bottom to the top. It was pure foam. And like the guy shines his light in Jay's cup, and he goes, "You're good. Go ahead." And I was like, I can't believe that shit worked.
Dude, I feel awesome.
But anyway, that was a whole side story. But when all this shit's over with, you know, and the COVID's over with, or whatever, we're actually planning on doing some traveling and like going around to different. I saw Chris is like,
it's never gonna be over.
No, don't say that to me.
I gotta go with.
You got another year of this.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think that's 100%.
Well, let me put it this way: if there's a vaccine and people abide, then when it's over, our plans are to actually like go around and like go on the road a little bit and go to these other conventions because we've never been to any of them. You know what I mean? Normally, what we do is Jay and I dress up. We'll go to Scarefest, and I'll dress up as Michael, and Jay will dress up as Loomis, and then I'll walk around, and one of us will walk around with the camera, and then nobody will know who the fuck we are. Jay just looks like a guy in a suit screaming at people, right? So one of the first ones we went to, he walks in the door, and everybody looks at us because he's walking with Michael, and he's got the plaid suit on, and he just goes, "Stop looking at me! I will cause a chaos scene."
Well, no, because you asked me, you're like, dude, you got to do something when we walk in the doors. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna do some shit.
Because every time we go, dude, you're like, dude, nobody knows who I am.
No, because I was like, hey, at this point, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do some shit.
Michael, walk proud and tall. This is Michael Myers, the star of the show. Why wasn't Michael invited? We have Robert Englund. We have Kate Harder. We have no Michael Myers. I will cause a chaos scene.
Like
you know what you need to do? You need to put a bald cap on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, he refused.
You didn't have a bald cap on, Loomis?
No, it was just me.
Like
I don't
under
know.
Loomis with hair?
Well, yeah,
Young Loomis.
Yeah, like a younger
The
Loomis with
Chronicles
hair.
of Young
Exactly
Loomis.
what. Yeah,
The
it was like a younger
Chronicles of
Loomis with hair. Like if he
Because
had met
people will know
Michael.
that. You walk into a convention and someone
Yeah,
goes,
and I'm wearing
oh,
like
yeah,
a
Chronicles of
fucking
Loomis,
trench
yeah.
coat, and I've got a plaid like jacket and a white undershirt and like a tie. I'm like, call the chaos scene. Like they're gonna call the cops on me. Like I mean, I just said that. I said I'm gonna call the chaos scene right when I walk into this convention. It's gonna happen right away.
So,
But
Sean,
you know,
Sean, do you represent by chance Malcolm McDowell?
No.
Okay. Well, one time we're walking through there and like, cause
that
we're
was the
filming
worst.
we film our yearly Scarefest video. We just walk through and like cause shit. Like one time they let us in the concession stand and like Michael Myers was serving drinks and Loomis was screaming at people, like all this crazy shit. But we're walking through one year and Jay's filming as Loomis and he happens to catch the eye of Malcolm McDowell.
Oh man, it was the worst.
They're on the outer line, and the camera catches Malcolm McDowell's face, and we're walking through as Michael and fake Loomis, and Jay starts screaming. He's like, "Imposter Loomis! Imposter Loomis!" And Malcolm McDowell looks up and looks directly at us, and with the fucking seething soul of the devil's like, "You mother."
The imposter Loomis.
I was filming that scene, and there was a big sign, I think clearly, that said that you shouldn't be filming the actors, the actresses on that back wall, which I should have paid attention to, but I didn't, because I was like, oh, it's all good. It's all good. We're just filming everything. It's not a big deal.
It's hard to get kicked out with the press
I was doing the panoramic of the panel. I wasn't, zooming in on their faces or anything like that. I was just like, oh, look at all these famous celebrities here. They're, like on the mic or whatever. And I saw Malcolm McDowell sitting and he was signing autographs for, Rob Zombie's Halloween, Halloween 2. And I was like, that's like Imposter Loomis. And at that point, I figured how the zoom button worked on the camera. So I started zooming in on his face when I said that. And right then, he looked at me and he could cause daggers to the soul, like icicles, and it froze me. It froze me, and I saw him, and I'm like, I was like, Mike, we gotta stop doing this shit.
I gotta go watch that.
Yeah, I immediately turned it down.
There's a small clip of it in the Scarefest video from that year.
And I did, Karate Kid. I did one of those. I was like, yeah, and then I was like, yeah, we're out. I don't want to do this because he heard. I don't know because I kind of like when I do that voice, it kind of echoed. So it's like, imposter Loomis, fake Loomis.
Yeah, dude,
and I'm like, oh, shit.
And then
he heard that.
I don't know if it's by chance or not, but the year after that, like, we're just walking around filming our normal Michael Loomis shit, because they don't give us a table. I mean, like, they don't give us anything like that. We just walk around or whatever. But the next year, we even go near that area, and the security, like, stops us. They're like, you guys have a camera. You can't be around here. And like, we're like, oh, okay. Well, I wonder why. I guess they watched the video.
Well,
right.
I think that particular time though, Robert Englund had made it clear he didn't want anybody filming.
That was the Robert Englund year. That was the year Robert Englund was there. And he was like, I don't want anybody with a camera around us. But anyways, that was a fucking tangent. Sorry about that. So that was, yeah.
That's a good story. That's a good story.
It was a fun time, man. But Derek Michael asked a question for Chris. He says, what technique does he – this is cheeky. Derek Michael's cheeky, and this is cheeky. He says, for Chris, what technique does he use to create burn effects on clothes, props, or even a mask?
I like his face with his.
Nice try.
Fire.
Nice try.
Fire. Duh.
Nice try, dude.
Honest to God, the first time I read that, I was like, oh, that's a good question. The second time I read that, I was like, that's fucking sneaky, dude. That's fucking sneaky. That's why before I said it, I was like, this is cheeky, Chris. Just be warned.
That's hilarious. Fire. Fire and 30 years of skill, buddy. 30 years of skill.
Heat, bitch.
30 years of honing
Knock
craft.
it down.
But nice try with that, Pop.
The technique he uses was called schooling.
Schooling.
That's
and
okay.
lots of studying.
Derek's a Detroit Lions fan. He needs all the love.
Oh, yeah, you got to give him a pass on that.
We love Derek so much. But, okay. Donald Potts says, question for Chris. What were some of your favorite moments working on Land of the Dead?
Oh, Jesus. I had a lot. That was fun. Well, just working with George Romero, because that guy was a badass.
Man, that would be great. Yeah.
And that guy was so nice and friendly and cool, and he was like your dad. It was so cool. That was just joyous being involved in the Dead series and getting to be in there. And I got to play a zombie. That was amazing. Towards the beginning of the movie, there's a family of like a husband, a wife, and a kid. I'm the husband, called the father zombie, and we're stumbling across front porch, and all the marauders come by and machine gun us, and my head gets machine gunned off, and the big daddy zombie guy, what's his name? I guess his name is Big Daddy. Eugene Clark. He's holding my head, and my head, I'm looking at him, and then he throws my head on the ground and steps on it and squashes it. So that was a highlight. That was good stuff.
I was supposed to be a zombie in Land of the Dead.
Oh.
You son of a bitch!
We're gonna break up the show right now tonight.
Yeah.
Greg had promised me he was gonna let me be a zombie, and then it was like, oh, well, we're shooting in Toronto, and we have to. We can't have, we have to hire locals, and I'm just like, bro.
Yeah. Well, you had to fly there. If you wanted to be a zombie, you had to fly yourself there and put yourself up and all that.
I would have.
But my other memory, I have so many memories. We shot in a wave pool. Like there was an aqua park, like a fun aqua park. And when the zombies all jump in the water and they swim, they come up on the other side. That was shot in a wave pool, like a fun park. And it was freezing cold. It was freezing cold in Toronto. And we had to do all these makeups and get in the wave pool and, stick their heads up. So I have so many stories about Land of the Dead. That's a whole nother show. But yeah, good time, man.
There you go. I think we should do this again sometime for sure, because I think we always end up going on and going on and going on. I think we, especially now they had Sean's stories too, and I think we could have a whole. You know what? Just let's all just quit our YouTube channels and just do one together. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
No.
But what do we call it?
The thing with four heads.
Yeah.
And some. Yeah, and some ball. What do you call it? What'd you say? Powder.
No.
The thing with four heads needs ball powder, Chris. It needs to. No. Okay, we'll name it. One guy's never had mud butt. 1 out of 4 has never had mud butt. That sounds like a great.
Oh shit!
By the way,
well, you're putting one guy on blast right there when you say that, though.
Well, look.
You're hygiene shaming me.
Okay, last question. Greg Harris asks, for Sean, what is one of the weirdest encounters you've ever had with a fan? Sean, he says, what's the weirdest encounter you've ever had with a fan? I know you have stories. You have to.
Oh fuck, I don't know. That's tough. I think the weirdest ones are the ones that don't happen at conventions. When you're recognized on the street, those are usually the most awkward. Like I was at a Quiznos sandwich shop right by my house, and this guy kept staring at me.
I could get it. Yeah.
And he ended up being a fan. That was just weird, but no, this is kind of an interesting one. I've been going to this Jersey Mike's, as it happens at sandwich shops a lot, apparently. I've been going to this Jersey Mike's for probably 5 years.
You got a thing for sub sandwiches.
I love sub. I love a good sub.
You like a good hoagie.
Although it tends to make your balls a little sweaty if you eat too much.
What's your hoagie of choice?
I'm a big.
What's your 6-inch of choice?
What is it?
Let's see. It's different at every. If I go to Jersey Mike's, it's a turkey, an avocado. If I go to Subway, it's a tuna, or they've got this. I like their steak and cheese. But they've got this new barbecue one that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I had it. It's not bad.
Yeah. Not too bad. Anyway, but they always take them away, which pisses me off. I loved their pulled pork sandwich that they had for a while, and then they take it away, limited edition. Why do you do that to us?
I like that you said they take them away.
You take them away. It's like the McRib. The McRib. Where does it go? Where does it hide? That's not fair. But okay, so back to
always take it away from you, Steve-O.
the Jersey Mike story. So I've been going there like 5 years. Same dude, been working there forever. And I'm ordering my usual sandwich, and he's ringing me up, and he goes, "Can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, "Were you in a Pet Cemetery documentary?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was." He goes, I knew it. I thought that was weird.
Wow.
But as far as weird fan experiences, I mean, I've seen weird shit. Like, dude, I've seen some weird shit being around Norman Reedus. I've seen some weird shit.
Yeah, my bad.
I mean, shit that fans.
Yeah, they go crazy over that guy, dude,
Shit,
man.
that'll turn you white.
Like
Dude.
that dude is like on another level with the Walking Dead fans.
Yeah,
Like
people
100%.
want to sex his face. a
Dude,
lot.
you remember, like, if you ever watched, like, any of the old footage of the Beatles with fans running, screaming, chasing in the streets?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been to Japan with Norman a few times. That's what it's like every time we go to Japan. They're literally fucking chasing us everywhere, screaming.
Crazy,
it's like
man.
Beatlemania. It's nuts. But and they
I
all know
can't leave
me.
the house.
And they all know me, dude. All these Asian people that can't speak English are going, Sean, and I'm like, what the fuck? No,
they have
the
hoagies in
weirdest
Japan?
thing, huh? What?
Did you get
What's
a
your
hoagie in
favorite?
Japan?
What's your favorite hoagie shop in Japan?
Dude, they don't really have hoagies in Japan.
Yeah, I would imagine.
they
like,
have
don't
heroes?
really-
Although-
they have, like, yeah, I was gonna say they don't have hoagies.
Okay, now you're getting me off track. But so the
I know,
first
I
time
did
we
it
went
on
to Japan,
purpose.
first time we went to Japan, one thing, and Chris probably can attest to this, maybe a little time he's known me, I'm very particular about food, and I'm very, like, basic meat and potatoes guy. And when I went to Japan, I was freaked out, man, because the food, I don't like seafood, so everything's fucking fish. And Sean Patrick Flannery's the same way. He's even worse than I am. And it was me, Norman, and Sean. And so me and Sean are like, we need some fucking food. We can't eat this that they brought us at the convention. And we're like, what do they have around here? And they're like, well, there's a Subway. There is a sub. So we had them go get a Subway. We're in Japan. We gotta have to get a Subway.
I fucking dig it, man. I get that. I understand. It's like, hey, man, there's all these options. You motherfuckers have a Subway sandwich shop. Like, I just need like a basic idea of what I need to do, and then I can ease my way into this country. I can't do this right away.
Yeah. No, I
love
was,
it.
when I was in Beijing, China.
China.
I ate for the first about 2 weeks. I ate a Kentucky Fried Chicken because it was like,
Dude,
it was so terrible.
I had Kentucky Fried Chicken in Tokyo.
I think that if me and Mike were overseas in somewhere like Japan or
awesome.
Spain or whatever,
shit.
if
I
we
like
said we were
weird
from
shit.
Kentucky, they would be like, we would have Kentucky Fried Chicken. We would feel like goddamn celebrities. They'd be like, oh, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, yeah, we created it. It's really incredible to experience.
We created it.
It's really incredible experience.
And then they take it away.
Right, yeah.
Hey, y'all take away our goddamn chicken.
Oh, man, yeah. Look, it's got some special seeds and spices in it that's only known to Kentucky, but, they try to recreate it over here in the other.
I'm a food experiencer, so I would love to go to all these places you would talk about, and I would eat all the weird shit. Like, I would take it all in.
Right.
I will. You can pressure me into trying. I mean, like, fucking Norman, he's a big weird food guy. Like, he'll eat crazy. He ordered the craziest shit that me and Sean were just going, what the? He ordered, like,
I can see that,
octopus and sea urchin. And he got me to try some octopus. Like, he just fucking pushed me till I said, fine, just give me a piece. And god damn, it was disgusting. But anyway, I don't want to get off track because I was trying to tell the story about this weird gift. This was one of the weirdest things ever happened at a convention. A fan told Norman, gave Norman this box. It was like it almost looked like a hat box. It was round, and she
Gun rack.
told
I don't even own a gun, much less that would necessitate a rack. Sorry,
Throw some Wayne's World in there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Throw some Wayne's World in there.
So she tells the story about how she had cancer. She was a cancer survivor, blah, blah, blah. And she had to have her breasts removed because of breast cancer.
No.
Oh wow, yeah.
Please don't go where I think you're going.
No.
Yeah, it's exactly where you think of.
No.
Box. In the box.
I feel like Get Out. No.
Yeah.
I'm
They were like chicken cutlets in steel plastic. It was her breast meat.
Oh
No.
wow.
She wanted him to have it.
Oh my god.
It's not
dude.
funny. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. I don't
It is.
know
It's
how to
horrifying.
process.
What's in the box?
Oh,
It's
What-
my breast cutlets.
fucking chicken breast.
Oh.
Oh,
You know
Whoa.
a guy is a great actor is when you see him get through that conversation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? I mean, honestly, just as a human
You-
being, not
you go,
not
"Thank
just
you."
a celebrity. You're like,
Put it back here. Thank you. Nice meeting you. And then
it's like,
then you deal
Yeah.
with it later.
oh my fuck, dude, that would be
Wow.
insane.
That was
That is.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
hell.
crazy. Holy
Wow.
shit.
We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
We
have a winner.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
and it's still sitting on his mantle to this day.
Oh, fucking good for him.
Wow. I don't think you can get. That was
Nope.
perfectly the last question. I don't think we
That's
can.
it.
That's the
That's-
best.
there's
That's,
no
it.
way.
That's a good one. That's, how
That's
you
the
get
best
out.
way to end it, gentlemen.
Yeah. We're not topping that.
Breast cutlets.
I'm going to Jersey Mike's.
I'm in the mood for a Subway sandwich right now.
Subway family.
That.
It's very
To be
nice.
fair-
No,
to be
it's very
fair,
nice.
That's
No,
a moment that
yeah.
those people went through, and he meant
Yeah.
something to them, and obviously,
Not taking away the sentiment of
No,
the.
no,
It's
not at
just-
all. Like,
I just
not-
don't know why anybody would think that somebody would want that.
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
process.
I agree with Sean right here. It's not because the sentiment is not genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Right.
hey, you helped me through this, but you're bringing this to me.
Yeah, all right.
at a
I know we
convention.
live in a
It's
world
kinda
where we
fucking
have to be
weird.
we live in
Yeah.
a world where we have to be sensitive to everybody, but what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much a WTF exclamation point.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, it did not taste good.
Boom.
I would. I'd 100%
Good night,
agree.
everybody.
I don't
Did you
think it's
fry
anything.
it? Did you fry it? I mean, did you take it to
Good night,
KFC?
everybody.
They would have cooked it. All right,
There's
guys.
no hot sauce available.
Sean and Chris Nelson, Academy Award-winning Chris Nelson, and Academy
Amazing guys.
Award-watching Sean
Thank you.
Clark.
Thank you.
Both fine.
There you go.
gentlemen. If you guys want more of this shit, you can get it in the link below. Top of the link, just click it. You'll go there. You'll go straight to Sean's channel. You'll go straight to Chris's channel. The thing they got going together. It's amazing. And they're good dudes, as you guys clearly saw here. And guys, we should do this again sometime because, again, it's a rare
For
thing.
sure.
You just sit and talk to somebody and you're like, fuck, I could do this for like 24 hours if I wanted
Yeah.
to. It feels nice.
I really could. You know what? I immediately like talking to Sean and Chris. It's like I just want to hang out with you guys. Let's hang out. Let's
Yeah.
talk. Let's get to that bar
Let's do it.
and let's
We're
fucking
hanging out.
order some like goddamn Irish car bombs and fucking talk about the day.
Yeah.
Let's do that together.
Let's do that.
Sean likes to
Whatever.
Well, I'm sure. Well, you know what? I was supposed to be at Scarefest this year. We'll see. We'll see what happens next time. You know, maybe we'll get us both out there, or if anything, like you guys aren't that far from Indianapolis. Maybe Horror Hound Indianapolis or something.
Hey,
you know?
Yeah,
There you
like I
go.
said, next year we have plans to a big.
Or we
part-
just fly to fucking Kentucky and hang out for a weekend and get stupid.
we would do that too.
Let's do that.
We would do that too. But honestly, I've never
You
even
get a head
been to-
start on me there, Chris. I'll meet you there.
All right.
I've never even been to California in my entire life. Not as Jay.
I
Wow.
So
haven't either.
it's a big thing for us. So eventually we'll hang out in person. But
We don't need any more people.
Yeah, get the fuck back.
overrated.
Stay in your
Stay home.
Stay in your
Stay
section.
there.
You
Stay
don't-
there.
yeah.
No, but thank
That's
you,
why
honestly, and in all seriousness, thank you both for having us on the show
Yeah.
and letting us
Love you guys.
plug our show and hang out and talk for so long. God bless you for editing this together. I don't know how you're going to do it, but
That'll be fun.
but thank you for having us. It was really nice of you, and it's cool to have friends on everything that we're trying to do here on the YouTube and
On the internet.
on the internet,
On the
the
interwebs.
World Wide Web, and we appreciate it. And we'll bring followers to you, and you bring followers to us, and we'll all hang out. There's enough to go around. But thank you guys. It was a really great
Love
time.
you guys.
Can't
I
thank
wish there was more unity in the horror community. That's cool that we can all hang out together and cross promote and this and that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Let's do it again.
Show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have
maybe no promises. Maybe we'd have you guys on our show someday. Maybe no promises.
we're honored to do so, sir.
I mean, we're going to stay in line as long as it takes. We got the fast pass from Disney World. I mean, does that count?
But
You've been to Disney World?
I have.
Orlando, sir. Orlando. It's pretty fancy. Yeah. You should look it up sometime. No, but I respect the shit out of both of you guys, who you guys are, who you guys have became, and again, even though we touched on that, I'm fascinated by people who found a way in this world to do what they love and are happy. And their whole work is love, as poorly as I just said that. But I could talk to you guys for hours, and hopefully we'll do it again sometime. And I appreciate you guys both for being on the show. And
wait a minute, real quick, Sean.
Yes.
What's your favorite Michael Myers? Period. Tell me right now. Your favorite Michael Myers.
Nick Castle. Huh? Nick Castle.
Nick Castle. There you go, guys. Definitive. Done.
I mean that's like
Asking
where the fucking sky is.
It was a terrible question.
Yeah,
I felt like I had to go with it. Like Chris said, just go with it.
Yeah. Like, you didn't ask me. Why the fuck didn't you ask me?
Well, because he'll say 2018. He'll just be like, James Jude Courtney.
No, I'm not answering that.
You guys are great. We love you guys. You guys.
Anything with my mask on it.
You guys are great, man. We love you guys. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And you have great hair, so all of you. So, to great hair. All right, guys. Good night. I'm gonna click end on this bitch. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
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 What are you going to do on October 31st?
What are you going to do on October 31st?
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover. Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you want to know about the darkness?
I said, God damn.
God damn you, Michael!
I said, God damn.
A lot of people don't know the darkness that goes inside their hearts.
I said, God damn.
God damn you, Michael! What are you gonna do on October 31st?